businesses from entering the market and urged the stakeholders to work collaboratively in finding lasting solutions. President Hichilema said there is need to dig deeper and understand why listings remain low, and the government will play its part to ensure more businesses access the capital market, which is key to growing the economy. He further encouraged the Lusaka Stock Exchange to fully engage with government and specify the changes needed to make the market more attractive and accessible.
I prelude this issue because we are talking about reforms and in the capital market sector. We are committed to reforms in this sector. Fully committed. I think the issue is what exactly do we want to do? I think the creation of a PPDF was one major step by the presidency to create a platform that would allow interaction between different sectors. We talked of mining, energy, obviously agriculture, but the capital market, colleagues, is really what I want to see more work. Yes, the plan. I think we're happy that the plan is now in place, but what are the things stand in the way?
Earlier, Lusaka Securities Exchange Chief Executive Officer Nicholas Kabaso called for additional policy measures to stimulate listings, noting limited participation from asset managers. However, Mr. Kabaso expressed optimism, stating that companies are increasingly showing confidence in listing on the exchange, attributing the shift to deliberate policy shifts aimed at broadening access to capital and encouraging equity financing. He highlighted the importance of equity financing over traditional debt, urging more businesses to list on the LUSE to unlock sustainable growth. Mr. Kabaso pointed to the capital markets master plan and proposed tax incentives for listed companies as key drivers of market participation and economic resilience.
Looking at, some of which obviously we continue to pray and hope that with your continued intervention, you will then be able to help us to accelerate that growth. Key among these, Your Excellency, is a need for us to be able to continue to drive a lot of listings, which obviously for a fact is where we're starving the market. We need to be able to get to see that acceleration going forward. We also must be able to get to see a continued participation of more asset managers. We have them in the room today, but we want to get to see how can we also increase that participation from the major, investor, participants like the institutional funds like ABSA.
The Drug Enforcement Commission, DEC, says ongoing investigations into the case of former Foreign Affairs Minister Joseph Malanji have uncovered additional unaccounted funds with a strong likelihood of implicating other high-profile individuals in related financial crimes. During a press briefing, DEC Director General Nelson Banda confirmed that the Commission will not appeal the 4-year prison sentence handed to Mr. Malanji, who was convicted for possessing tainted property valued at $11 million. Mr. Banda clarified that DEC's mandate is to secure convictions, while sentencing remains the prerogative of the courts. He emphasized that the convictions of Mr. Malanji and his co-accused former Secretary to the Treasury, Fredson Yamba, underscore Zambia's commitment to the rule of law and the recovery of stolen assets. The DEC Director General described the case as a stark example of the reach of transnational crime, citing allegations that Mr. Malanji used the presidential jet to transport millions of dollars from Turkey, made rapid deposits, and acquired 2 helicopters. He highlighted the outcome as a product of robust collaboration across local, regional, and international intelligence and law enforcement agencies.
Assets in general. This case, colleagues, is an example of the far-reaching ramifications of transnational crimes, where a sitting minister of Foreign Affairs uses the country's presidential jet to facilitate the holding of millions of dollars in cash from Turkey and makes deposits of hundreds of thousands of dollars in a very short period of time. And using this money, and in the same period, he goes on to purchase, among other things, not one helicopter, but 2 helicopters for himself. There's no doubt that the outcome of this court process, colleagues, represents the fruits of diligent internal, regional, and international collaboration in the sphere of intelligence gathering, conduct of investigations, and delivery of prosecution.
Government and the family of the late 60th President, Dr. Edgar Lungu, have officially commenced formal discussions aimed at honoring his legacy and fostering national reconciliation. In a joint statement released today, both parties affirmed their shared commitment to a mediated process that will address outstanding issues while promoting trust and unity. The statement, signed by Secretary to the Cabinet Patrick Kangwa and family spokesperson Makebi Zulu, emphasized the importance of mutual respect and collaboration. It noted that both government and the Lungu family have agreed to avoid actions that could escalate tensions, pledging instead to keep the public informed as discussions progress. The talks are expected to cover a range of matters, including memorial arrangements, historical recognition, and preservation of Dr. Lungu's legacy in national discourse. Copperbelt Minister Elisha Matambo has hailed the nearing completion of the Ndola Cancer Hospital as a transformative milestone for Zambia's healthcare system, particularly for cancer patients in the northern region. Speaking during a courtesy visit by a delegation of cancer specialists from the United States, Mr. Matambo emphasized that the facility will be the first of its kind in the northern region, marking a historic advancement in decentralizing cancer care. The visiting team is providing both a financial and material support to the project, while also facilitating knowledge transfer to Zambian specialists ahead of the hospital's commissioning.
I think this will give hope, more hope to the people of Copperbelt. We can see light at the end of the tunnel. Everyone is waiting for a day when the president will come and commission that hospital. And this is why I've told the contractors that it shouldn't go beyond December, according to the agreement we have with them. So we are very grateful that you came and you decided to pay Ketesco at our provincial administration. I wish you all the best as you go. May God continue using you. Yours is the calling, saving lives. And I'm sure those who are affected with that disease, they will see that President Akaende means well, bringing that cancer hospital, because they will see this manpower, impacting knowledge to those who will be working on our patients. We wish you all the best.
And leading the delegation, Dr. Albert Kung, chairperson and division head for radiation oncology, expressed the team's commitment to equipping local professionals with the necessary skills and expertise.
Cancer patients have to either forego radiation therapy treatment because of the lack of equipment in the country, or they have to be sent out of the country for treatment. About 50 to 60% of cancer patients require radiotherapy at some course in their cancer journey. So our role here is to support the country and establish state-of-the-art modern radiotherapy for the cancer patients of Zambia. So our purpose today is to visit the site in Ndola, which is, my understanding is it's nearly complete in the construction.
While Ministry of Health Permanent Secretary for Technical Services, Dr. Kennedy Lishimpi, added that several memoranda of understanding are in place to ensure the hospital is fully equipped and operational.
That is going to also increase access to the screening and to early diagnostic services within the province, so that we strengthen the referral system from community to these specialist institutions that we have in the province. So your coming here is a blessing and a good shot in the arm for us as Zambia. We have a memorandum of understanding with themselves and the Ministry of Health, and we have understanding of what each party must do in this process to ensure that we strengthen this special field of cancer treatment.
And Health Minister Dr. Elijah Muchima has described the handover of vehicles supported by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, to district health officers in Northwestern Province as a game-changing step in Zambia's public health infrastructure. Speaking at the handover ceremony, Dr. Muchima said the vehicles will enhance mobility for health personnel, improve disease surveillance, and expand outreach in underserved communities. He emphasized that the initiative is a strategic move to bridge long-standing gaps in health care access, particularly in remote areas. Dr. Muchima reiterated that Zambia's health sector is evolving to meet national needs with universal health coverage as its central goal. He noted that the vehicles will enable district officers to conduct immunization campaigns, respond to outbreaks, and support maternal and child health programs more effectively.
$1,000. These motor vehicles will be distributed to all the districts in the province to alleviate transport challenges facing the provision of HIV, TB services. Let me take this opportunity to urge all district directors of health to ensure prudent utilization of these motor vehicles in line with stipulated guidelines so as to meet the intended purpose.
In more local stories, the Zambian Parliamentary Caucus on Environment and Climate Change has described the recent acid spill at Sinometos Leach Zambia Limited as a major environmental crisis that demands urgent intervention and comprehensive long-term policy reforms. The caucus has condemned the recent acid leak, calling it an environmental disaster with the far-reaching consequences for communities across the Copperbelt and the broader Kafue River Basin. In a rare show of cross-party unit, the caucus declared its refusal to remain silent over the incident, which has contaminated vital water sources and disrupted livelihoods dependent on fishing, agriculture, and domestic use. The acid spill, which occurred in February 2025, has already affected residents in Chambishi, Kitwe, and surrounding districts, with experts warning of long-term ecological and health risks. The Parliamentary Caucus has therefore called for Sinometos to fund the restoration of contaminated land and rivers and cover medical costs for affected individuals. On legal action, it called for proceedings to be initiated against responsible corporate and government actors under Zambia's Environmental Management Act and Penal Code. Further, government should establish a public inquiry involving ZEMA, international experts, and civil society to investigate the cause, extent, and liability of the disaster, and for Sinometos' operating license to be revoked until environmental compliance and victim compensation are verified. Looking ahead to the 2026 national budget, the caucus pledged to lobby for increased funding to ZEMA and the Ministry of Mines and Minerals Development to enhance environmental oversight. It also announced plans to introduce a private member's motion advocating for the creation of a dedicated environmental court to ensure timely and expert adjudication of ecological disputes. This is according to a statement signed by Twambo Mutinta, Iteji Member of Parliament, and Anthony Kasandwe Bangweru MP, both are serving as co-chairpersons of the ZPC-ECC. The Ministry of Labour and Social Security has reaffirmed its commitment to fostering open dialogue with the Zambia Congress of Trade Unions, ZCTU, on matters affecting the country's workforce. Minister Brenda Tambatamba made the call during a courtesy visit by officials from ZCTU and the Solidarity Center. She emphasized that the government remains dedicated to promoting a decent working environment for all Zambians and encouraged ZCTU to uphold its mandate of resolving labor issues through constructive engagement. Mrs. Tambatamba assured the nation that government will continue to respond to concerns raised by workers and unions, reinforcing its role as a responsive partner in labor development.
Dialogue is a major part of your mandate, and it should not be carried lightly. We encourage you to continue maintaining that as a cornerstone of galvanizing that space for the workers' success at driving, promoting, advocating, and collaborating with their government and their employers in ensuring that we achieve the decent work agenda.
ZCTU Deputy Secretary General Catherine Kantumoya expressed appreciation for government's non-interference in union operations, contrasting it with the previous administrations.
Taken with the ministry to foster industrial harmony, which we have enjoyed under the new Dawn administration since you took over office. Honorable Minister, we don't take that for granted. And also for just allowing us space in this dispensation, in democratic dispensation, where you are not interfering in how we are running the Zambia Congress of Trade Unions.
The Ministry of Fisheries and Livestock has reiterated its commitment to transforming the livestock sector through the Zambia Beef Export Project to the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC. Speaking during a courtesy call on Copperbelt Province, Minister Elisha Matambo, Acting Permanent Secretary Dr. Shadrick Mungalaba highlighted the construction of cold chain facilities at Simon Mwansaka International Airport as a key component of the initiative. The facilities are expected to preserve meat quality and ensure compliance with international standards, positioning Zambia as a reliable supplier of premium beef to regional markets. Dr. Mungalaba also emphasized the importance of disease control, noting that the establishment of animal disease-free compartments, ADFCS, will be central to meeting export requirements and safeguarding livestock health. With infrastructure upgrades underway and bilateral cooperation with the DRC strengthening, the Beef Export Project is poised to unlock new economic opportunities, boost foreign exchange earnings, and uplift rural communities.
The team of the Ministry of Fisheries and Livestock has been sent to the country to appreciate the facilities that we have as far as beef production is concerned. And so we aimed at showing them a bit of what is there so that they can appreciate. The main bottleneck of exporting beef is disease control. And so if your country does not put much mind on that, it becomes difficult for that country to export any beef. Unfortunately, your government, Honorable Minister, is investing a lot in disease control, and hence this focus on ensuring that the diseases are controlled.
This is the news on Sun FM Radio and TV. For now, we take a break.
La Zambia, you did it! The ABSA Marathon is officially sold out. 7,000 elite and social runners from Zambia and beyond are ready to tell their story on the 6th of September. But this race is bigger than just running. Together with World Vision, we're fighting menstrual poverty to keep thousands of girls in schools. Visit absamarathonzambia.co.zm and click on the Mzinga World Vision Challenge. Your story matters. ABSA.
The 2025-2026 Eden University Women's Super League enters round 4 this weekend, with action unfolding across Zambia. League leaders Green Eagles women will travel to Chilabombwe to face debutants Konkola Blades Queens at Konkola Stadium, hoping to extend their perfect run after a 2-0 win over Trident Queens in round 3. Their opponents still reeling from a missed opportunity after surrendering a 2-0 lead to draw 2-0 with ZISD, will be eager to prove themselves against their pace setters. In Changola, Nchanga Queens will host Yasa Queens at Nchanga Stadium, while Trident Queens look to bounce back as they will come convince the Blue Eagles Queens to Sentinel Ground in Kalumbila. Lusaka will see 2 fixtures on Saturday, with Luyando Foundation taking on Chipata Girls at Independence Stadium in an early kickoff, followed by Zanaco Ladies clashing with Nkwazi Queens at Sunset Stadium later in the afternoon. Sunday's fixtures promise high drama as former champions Green Buffaloes face defending champions Zescondola Girls in Rees Arena in a much-anticipated showdown. Later in the day, the elite ladies will welcome Red Arrows to Sunset Stadium, while Indeni Roses, last season's bronze medalists, take on Amazing Grace at the ZNS Rugby Club in Kabwe. Rounding off the weekend, National Assembly will lock horns with ZISD at Edwin Imboya Stadium in Lusaka, with the title contenders looking to solidify their positions and newcomers eager to make a statement. Week 4 is set to deliver another exciting chapter in Zambia's Premier Women's Football League. Now, as we leave the headlines once again. President Hakainde Hichilema has called for a deeper examination into the low number of listings on the Lusaka Stock Exchange, despite the favorable policies introduced by his administration. The Drug Enforcement Commission (DEC) has revealed that continued investigations into the case involving former Foreign Affairs Minister Joseph Malanji have exposed more missing funds, with high probability of linking other prominent figures to associated financial misconduct. Government and the family of the late 6th President Dr. Edgar Lungu have officially commenced formal discussions aimed at honoring his legacy and fostering national reconciliation. The 2025-2026 Eden University Women's Super League enters round 4 this weekend, with action unfolding across Zambia. On behalf of the entire news team, my name is Imelda Chikwati. Stay tuned to Sun FM Radio and TV. God bless.
Sun FM.
A comprehensive coverage of local and national news, business, politics, and sports. The Sun FM News was brought to you by ABSA. Your story matters.
This is a public service announcement from ABSA Bank Zambia PLC. Motorists are advised that major routes across Lusaka will be closed for the ABSA Marathon from midnight on Saturday, 6th September until 11 a.m. on the same day. This is in fulfillment of the World Athletics requirement for full route closure for certified marathons. Please take precautions, follow the diversion signs, and plan your day carefully. Your story matters. ABSA.